Amen. Thank you for that, Pastor. For today's Ask the Pastor segment, our question is, God gives dreams to reveal his will. Can the devil give dreams in order to disrupt the will of God?
Thank you, Edie, and God bless you. Praying God bless you. When God gives you a dream, or anyone, as in Bible times, a dream, the dream doesn't always is fulfilled. We have to go through. In Genesis, when he got the dream, he told his disciples, brothers and sisters, I got a dream from God. I know it's a dream from God. And they made him mad. Joseph told his brothers, and the text says they heard it and they were very angry with him. He saw. And then his father also said, are you going to rule the entire family? But it was not his dream, it was a God-given dream. Sometime later, trying to just live life, he went to do an errand to his brother. And after a long day of traveling, and he found them of all the cuisine that they needed, they saw him from afar and said, here comes the dreamer. What did they call him? Because they knew he had a dream from God. Here comes the dreamer. Let's see what will become of his dream. You remember what the story did? His dream brought him into the pit. He was thrown into a pit. They took the food, ate it, didn't even give him any. Some wanted him to be killed, but luckily he was sent into slavery. Midianite people showed him. He traveled a long way from home into Egypt, into his new home. He was sold on the slave back. He was picked up by Potiphar, a wonderful home of the king of Egypt, worker. And there he was, he met another diabolic sendback. Sometimes you get a bad thing in a bad way, sometimes it comes in a good way. In this way, he was prosperous. He was in charge of managing a home. But the man's wife wanted to seduce him and got him into jail for lying that he raped her. Can you imagine when everything was going well in his life, everything for nearly 8 years, 8, 9, 10 years. And now he was sentenced to jail for rape. Unthinkable, pure young man. He's in jail. But he is in jail, shocked by what happened, yet the dream is still with him. Satan wants to discourage him, but what did God do for him? God spoke with the person in charge of the jail and said, look, make Joseph in charge of this jail. He made him in charge. 3 years later, after his work of interpreting dreams, he came face to face with Pharaoh, king of Egypt, who was in a bind, a life bind, and not spent nearly 2 nights without eating because he wanted to understand wisdom to lead Egypt through a difficult time. And he heard about a boy in jail that helped them with their dream. And he said, maybe since I can't get any help from anyone, anywhere help will come from, even God, I will get it. Finally, Joseph's dream brought him face to face with the king of the country, the great mega world in that era, Egypt. And very quickly, as soon as he begins to respond, the president recognized that God was speaking through him. And as soon as he answered, the man said, we are not going to look for a new leader. We're going to use you because we can feel the Spirit of God working in you. And so the good news is, keep sending your questions. Don't give up on your dream. Don't let your family give up on your dream. Don't let people on the street make you give up on your dream. Keep your dream big in the presence of God through every trial and every temptation and every breath and every trial and every prayer. God bless you.
Thank you so much for that information, Pastor. If you and our viewing audience have a question, a Bible question that you would like the pastor to answer during a future service, or if you have a prayer request that you would like to submit for us to pray over, you can send us your questions or your prayer requests by phone or by email. You can text us your questions or your prayer requests at 240-853-1921 or email them to us at info@AgapeAdventFC